Hey guys, ready for another travel getaway? Then let me tell you, there's nowhere quite like New York City. The energy, the diversity, the endless things to see and do. It's truly a place that captures the imagination. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or a first-time visitor, this city has something for everyone. In this video, we're going to be exploring some of the most iconic landmarks and hidden gems that this concrete jungle has to offer. From the Empire State Building to Central Park, from Times Square to Broadway, we'll be covering all the must-see spots. But it's not just about checking off landmarks. It's about experiencing the soul of the city, the little moments, the local flavors that make New York, New York. So, pack your walking shoes, grab your Metro card, and get ready for an unforgettable adventure as we dive headfirst into the heart of the Big Apple. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single episode. All right, guys, first up on our NYC adventure is a classic, Rockefeller Center. This place is iconic, not just for its history, but for the amazing views you get from the top of the Rock Observation Deck. Trust me, you haven't really seen New York until you've seen it from up here. Now, Rockefeller Center itself is a complex of 19 commercial buildings. Think shops, restaurants, theaters, you name it. It's always buzzing with activity, especially around the holidays when they have the famous ice skating rink and that massive Christmas tree. But let's be real, the main attraction is the top of the rock. Taking those high-speed elevators up 70 floors is an experience in itself, but once you step out onto the observation deck, wow! You're greeted with panoramic views that'll take your breath away. You can see Central Park sprawling out to the north, the Empire State Building standing tall, and the concrete jungle stretching out as far as the eye can see. It's truly awe-inspiring. I highly recommend coming up here at sunset for some truly magical views. So, in the heart of bustling Midtown Manhattan, you've got this oasis of peace, St. Patrick's Cathedral. It's a stunning neo-Gothic masterpiece that takes your breath away. The cathedral can hold around 2,400 people. The bronze doors, the stained glass windows, the towering spires. It's craftsmanship of a bygone era. Inside, the high vaulted ceilings, the soft light filtering through the stained glass, the smell of incense. It's like another world. You can't help but feel awe and wonder in this space. Wander through the nave, admire the artwork, and soak in the peaceful atmosphere. Next up, we're heading to Times Square. All right, guys, buckle up, because we're about to dive headfirst into the dazzling chaos that is Times Square. This place is like the heartbeat of New York City, a sensory overload in the best possible way. You've got these massive LED screens, billboards flashing, music pumping, and people from all walks of life just buzzing around. Now I gotta tell you, the energy here is contagious. It's like stepping into a real-life movie set, with street performers, costume characters, and a million things vying for your attention. Don't even try to fight it. Just embrace the craziness and let yourself get swept up in the moment. Speaking of things to see, you can't come to Times Square without catching a Broadway show. And, I mean, come on. The theaters here are legendary. From classic musicals to cutting-edge plays, there's something for everyone. Trust me, seeing a show in Times Square is an experience you won't forget. And, hey, if you're feeling adventurous, why not try your luck at scoring some discounted last-minute tickets? There are booths all around Times Square where you can find some real steals. Just be prepared to be a little spontaneous and go with the flow. All right, folks, get ready to experience the glamorous side of New York City as we stroll down the iconic Fifth Avenue. This place is a shopper's paradise, with flagship stores from all the biggest names in fashion, from Gucci and Prada to Tiffany & Co. and Cartier. But Fifth Avenue is more than just a shopping destination. It's also home to some of the city's most impressive landmarks. You've got the majestic St. Patrick's Cathedral, the elegant New York Public Library with its iconic lion statues, and the Trump Tower, always a sight to see. Love it or hate it. And hey, if you're an art enthusiast, you can't miss the chance to pop into the Frick Collection or the Metropolitan Museum of Art, two world-class museums showcasing incredible works from across the globe. Trust me, you could easily spend a whole day getting lost in the Met alone. But even if museums aren't your thing, simply walking down Fifth Avenue is an experience in itself. Soak in the vibrant atmosphere, admire the stunning architecture, and maybe even do a little window shopping, even if it's just to dream. All right, music lovers, get ready to step back in time and into the heart of Harlem as we visit the legendary Apollo Theater. This place is more than just a venue. It's an institution, a cultural landmark that has played a pivotal role in shaping American music history. We're talking jazz, blues, soul, R&B, hip-hop, you name it. The Apollo has seen it all. From Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday to James Brown and Michael Jackson, this stage has hosted some of the biggest names in music history. Just imagine the energy, the raw talent that has graced this stage over the decades. It's enough to give you chills. And the best part is, the Apollo is still going strong today, hosting performances, competitions, and events that continue to showcase the best of the best. So, even if you're not a die-hard music buff, a visit to the Apollo is an absolute must. Take a tour, soak in the history, and who knows, you might even get lucky and catch an amazing show. Just remember to bring your dancing shoes because you won't be able to resist moving to the rhythm at the Apollo. All right, guys, if you're looking for an unforgettable night out in New York City, look no further than Broadway. This iconic street is synonymous with world-class theater, and trust me, it lives up to the hype. Walking down Broadway, you're surrounded by these dazzling marquees and flashing lights. It's electric. From classic musicals like The Lion King to cutting-edge new productions, there's a show for everyone on Broadway. Now, ticket prices can be a little steep, but here's a pro tip. Check for rush tickets or lottery seats on the day of the show. You might just snag an amazing deal. But seriously, folks, seeing a Broadway show is a quintessential New York experience you don't want to miss. Next up, we're stepping into a true New York City landmark, Radio City Music Hall. This place is legendary. From its stunning Art Deco architecture to its iconic stage shows, Radio City is a feast for the senses. This place has seen it all, folks, from legendary performers like Frank Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald to the world-famous Rockettes. And speaking of the Rockettes, their Christmas Spectacular is a must-see if you're in town during the holidays. But even if you can't catch a show, take a tour. You'll learn about the history of this amazing venue, go behind the scenes, and maybe even meet a Rockette or two. Trust me, a visit to Radio City Music Hall is like taking a step back in time to the golden age of entertainment. All right, folks, let's escape the hustle and bustle of Manhattan for a day and head out to Coney Island. This place is a New York City institution, known for its beach, boardwalk, and of course, the limitless fun you can have. Walking down the boardwalk, you're hit with a wave of sights, sounds, and smells. You've got street performers, carnival games, and those classic amusement park rides. It's like stepping back in time. Don't miss the Cyclone, guys, a historic wooden roller coaster that's been thrilling riders since 1927. And of course, no trip to Coney Island is complete without a Nathan's hot dog. Grab one or two and enjoy the classic flavors of this iconic boardwalk. All right, guys, buckle up because we're about to head up high to the stunning Chrysler Building. This isn't just any skyscraper, it's a true Art Deco masterpiece. Built in the late 1920s, it held the title of the world's tallest building for a hot minute before the Empire State Building came along. But honestly, who's keeping score when you look this good, right? The details on this building are insane. Gargoyles inspired by Chrysler car hood ornaments. Those signature sunburst patterns. It's like a love letter to the glamour of the Jazz Age. Now, sadly, the observation deck is closed to the public. But trust me, even from the street, the Chrysler Building is a total jaw-dropper. You can spend hours just walking around, taking it all in, snapping photos from every angle. It's truly an iconic landmark that just screams New York City. Next up, we're off to another iconic skyscraper, one that needs no introduction. That's right. Get ready for the Empire State Building. Okay, folks, we've made it to the big guy, the main event, the Empire State Building. This place needs no introduction. It's been in countless movies, TV shows, you name it. Who could forget King Kong clinging on for dear life up there? And speaking of the top, the observation deck here is an absolute must-do. I'm talking panoramic views of the entire city that will blow your mind. I'm talking skyscrapers for days, the tiny yellow cabs zipping around. Even Central Park looks like a little green oasis from up here. It's a little breezy up here, but totally worth it. Just soak it all in. Guys, this is what it's all about. Experiencing the energy of New York City from its highest point. Oh, and pro tip, try to come up here at sunset. It's pure magic. But hey, we've got more ground to cover. All right, guys, after conquering those skyscrapers, it's time for a change of pace. We're at Central Park, the city's giant backyard. And let me tell you, this place is an oasis of calm in the middle of the urban jungle. Seriously, you step into this park, and it's like the city noise just melts away. You've got joggers, cyclists, families having picnics, street performers. It's a whole vibe. And the best part? You can literally spend an entire day here and still not see everything. We're talking over 800 acres of green space with hidden gardens, fountains, even a zoo. You can rent a rowboat, catch a Shakespeare performance, or just chill out on a bench and people watch. It's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle for a bit. But hey, we're just scratching the surface here, folks. Stick around because we're diving deeper into the heart of New York City. Up next, we're paying our respects at the National September 11 Memorial and Museum. Today, we're visiting one of the most significant places in New York City, the National September 11 Memorial and Museum. This place hits different. Two massive reflecting pools mark where the Twin Towers once stood. The names of every person who died are inscribed around the edges. The museum tells the story of 9/11 through artifacts and first-hand accounts. It's a place to reflect, learn, and pay respects. Hey everyone! Today we're going sky high, literally. We're heading up the One World Trade Center, also known as the Freedom Tower, to the One World Observatory. This is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, and let me tell you, the views from up here are absolutely mind-blowing. The experience starts in the elevator, believe it or not. As you ascend, these floor-to-ceiling LED screens show you the evolution of New York City's skyline from the 1500s to present day. It's like you're traveling through time. Then, boom, the doors open and you're greeted with this panoramic vista of New York City that'll knock your socks off. From up here, you can see everything. Central Park, the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, all the way out to the Atlantic Ocean on a clear day. It's unreal. They even have these high-powered telescopes you can use to zoom in and see everything in detail. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a seasoned New Yorker, the One World Observatory is an absolute must-do. It's an experience that'll stay with you long after you've left the city that never sleeps. Hey guys, you know how much I love finding those hidden gems in a city, but sometimes the best experiences are right there in plain sight. Today, we're exploring a true New York City icon, Grand Central Terminal. This place isn't just a transportation hub. It's a living, breathing piece of history. And trust me, it's way more exciting than it sounds. As soon as you step inside, you're greeted by this magnificent main concourse. Look up and you'll see this stunning celestial ceiling covered in gold leaf constellations. It's absolutely breathtaking. I mean, you could spend hours just staring up at the ceiling and still find new details. But Grand Central is more than just a pretty face. This place is a hive of activity, with commuters rushing to catch trains, tourists snapping photos, and locals grabbing a bite to eat. There are shops, restaurants, and even a hidden speakeasy tucked away in the corners of this architectural marvel. So, next time you're in New York City, skip the subway and head over to Grand Central Terminal. Take a walk around, grab a coffee, and soak in the history and grandeur of this incredible landmark. You won't regret it. Alright guys, we've seen a ton of amazing stuff in the city that never sleeps, but you can't come to New York and not pay a visit to Lady Liberty herself. The Statue of Liberty is way more than just a statue. It's a symbol of hope, freedom, and opportunity. Getting there is half the adventure. Hopping on a ferry, feeling that sea breeze, and then bam, you see her, rising up out of the water. It's truly breathtaking. And I'm not just saying that for the vlog. You guys know I keep it real. Once you're on Liberty Island, you can walk around the statue, even head up to the crown for some killer views. Now, I'm not scared of heights or anything, but even I have to admit, looking out over the city from up there is something else. So, if you're planning a trip to NYC, make sure to add the Statue of Liberty to your list. Trust me, it's an experience you won't forget. Plus, who doesn't love a good ferry ride? So, we've done the Empire State Building. We've conquered the Statue of Liberty. Now it's time for some culture, right? And when it comes to culture in NYC, the Guggenheim is in a league of its own. Now, I'll be honest, I'm more of a pizza and hot dog kind of guy, but even I can appreciate the art and architecture here. First off, the building itself is a masterpiece. Designed by the legendary Frank Lloyd Wright, it's this giant white spiral that's instantly recognizable. Seriously, you could spot this building from a mile away. It's like art you can walk in. How cool is that? And then there's the art inside. From Impressionist masterpieces to modern and contemporary works, there's something for everyone. I'm talking Van Gogh, Picasso, Kandinsky, the big hitters. Even if you're not a huge art buff, you can't help but be impressed by the sheer talent on display. So, ditch the tourist traps for an afternoon and immerse yourselves in the world of art at the Guggenheim. Trust me, it's worth it. Plus, you can tell everyone back home you went to a museum and feel super cultured. Well, there you have it, folks. Another amazing adventure in the books. From the bright lights of Times Square to the top of the Empire State Building and the inspiring Statue of Liberty, we've covered a lot. But hey, this is just a taste of what New York City has to offer. This city is full of surprises, hidden gems, and endless places. We might need a part 2 for this city. Every corner you turn, there's something new to discover, something to blow your mind. So, what are you waiting for? Get out there and explore. And hey, if you enjoyed this wild ride through the Big Apple, Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next adventure. Who knows where we'll end up next? Until then, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and we'll see you in your next travel getaway.